Hi everyone! Welcome back to Connection Point Collabo Project. My name is Rachel Bacobo. I am the founder of the Collabo Project, and we are in part 2 of the series of explaining what this website is about and the stories that led up to what you're seeing here now. And so, welcome back. This one is about vision, right? We talked about in the last video that it's not about a church, but it's about the church coming together in unity for the community and for the cause of Christ, right? So what does that look like? Well, last video we talked about me taking this crazy stand in the middle of church service, right? Who does that? Well, you know, there are many, many stories in the Bible about where God told his prophets, told his people to do some kind of strange things. So I'm okay with the fact that he had me stand up in the middle of service. It's okay. It's not like splitting the sea or anything, but it was creating some waves. But anyway, so I'm super excited to tell you this part because this is when the Lord just really put this heavy burden on my heart to, just go out to the different churches. So I was at this time, I was in school full time with through Liberty University for Christian counseling, and online courses are just not my cup of tea. Okay, I was going to school full time. I was going to work full time. I was involved heavily in church and outreach. We were doing a lot of different things. And then during that time, my son had some things that he was dealing with, and so it was a lot. It was a lot. And I remember the Lord saying to me, "Rachel, are you Mary or are you Martha?" I was like, "What do you mean, God?" I said, "Are you Mary or are you Martha? Did I tell you to do all these things, or is it something that you feel like you're obligated to do?" And I had to really think, okay, God, what do you mean? It's church, school, education, work, all this. And he said, "Rest in me. Be still and know that I am God." Mary had the good parts of me. And so he began to speak to me. And that time in my life, I was pulled. He pulled me. He prompted me to go out of the church that I was in and to rest in him at different churches. And he said, "I want you to understand what I'm doing in this city. I want you to understand, and I want you to be the mouthpiece for me. And I want you to tell the people, just as Joshua and Caleb, right? They went out as spies, right? And they came back and they gave a good report, right? Sometimes God sends people as missionaries in their own hometown, right? And so that's when the Lord just kept reminding me, it's not about a church, but the church. And so he would send me to different churches, and I would pray. I say, "Okay, God, what one do you want me to go to this week?" And sure enough, he would prompt my spirit. He would put somebody in my path. He would connect me some which way with these different churches, with these different people. And so it was just a really great, cool adventure where the Lord was really beginning to teach me more and more how to hear his voice deeper, as deep calls to deep. And so it's pretty exciting. He started showing me like how unified that he was putting his heart, pouring out his spirit on his people. And I remember he said, "I want you to bless each church that you go to." And I would pray and I say, "God, I just want them to feel, to know you the way that the way that you've shown me, the way that you've raised me up in you, where your Spirit was teaching me, where your love was guiding me. And so I just continued to do that, and he began to show me more and more. And it was like putting these pieces of the puzzle together. How God places us down, each piece, the way that he designed, and how we link together, right? So that was really exciting. And he started to put on my heart about connecting with these different churches. And then I saw this vision, right? I saw this vision of all of the churches coming together, and I kept going to person saying, man, God has just given me this vision that all the churches, all the ministries are going to connect one day, and I'm so excited to be a part of that. And it's like a God fest, like a women's fair, but a God fair. And they look at me and they're like, okay, Rachel, that's cool. And I'm like, no, but you don't understand. And of course I look like the crazy Christian girl, the one that I was like weirded out by when the Lord just started bringing me back to him. So I totally get it for all of you out there that, the Lord sent to me and said, God's praying for you. God wanted me to tell you how much he loves you. Somebody did that to me when I was younger, and I was far from God. And they just came up to me, they said that to me, and I'm like, thanks. But I knew, and I am that person. I am that person because I know how true that is. So anyway, that is part 2. Next, we're going to go into that a little bit deeper of the connection points. So stay tuned with me on to part 3.